You will not be able to do your job as a courier unless you have the correct equipment. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the 8 pieces of equipment that you're going to need as a courier to be able to go out there and do your job. But make sure you watch until the end, because the last one is something that not a lot of people think about, but it's probably going to be one of the most important if you want to make a lot of money as a courier. So let's get into this video. My name's Tommy. I started and founded Tommy Courier Services, and let's explain today what equipment you need as a courier to be able to do your job. So the first bit of equipment, probably the most important and the most given, is going to be your van. You're going to need a van or a car at least to go out there and start to make deliveries. A lot of people wouldn't list this as equipment, but it is equipment. It's going to be your main tool that you're going to use to make money and to go out there and do deliveries. So number one, your vehicle. Make sure that you've got a good van, make sure that it's reliable, make sure that it's going to carry you from where you need to be and where you're going to go, so you can maximize your earnings as much as possible. The second thing that you're going to need as a courier in order to do deliveries safely is going to be ratchet straps and bungee cords. Ratchet straps and bungee cords kind of go together, but they're a little bit different. So bungee cords are essentially some cords that you can strap to hold light objects in place. Whereas ratchet straps you would use on heavier items. They're a lot more heavy duty and they will hold heavier goods a lot better. Ratchet straps I would use for things like alcohol kegs, large pallets and things like this. Whereas bungee cords I would use for maybe a little plastic bin or a few little boxes, things like this that I just don't want moving about because it's an inconvenience. Whereas ratchet straps, a lot more heavy duty. If you have to just go for one, I'd go for the ratchet straps. They're fairly cheap. You can pick them up for anywhere from 10 to about £25, and they'll do the job and they'll hold your goods in place while you're transporting your goods. The third piece of equipment that you're going to need is going to be either a sack or a pump truck. And what these are, they're slightly different depending on what vehicle you've got, but overall, most people will be going for a sack truck. If you've got a Luton van, you're going to need a pump truck because you're going to have pallets and you're going to need to use the pump truck to move the pallets around. But that's only for Luton vans. If you've got a Luton, go for a pump truck. If you've got any other van, then get yourself a sack truck. I've actually got a little foldable sack truck, which I keep in the back of my van. And then if I've got a delivery where I've got 4 or 5 big boxes, I can just put them all on the sack truck, put it on the set of wheels and roll it to where it needs to go, rather than having to go back to the van, to the delivery, to the van, to the delivery 5 times. Makes it a lot easier, a lot more simple, and it's very, very good if you're doing hospital jobs and you need to navigate through the hospital, go up to the 2nd floor, walk down the aisle, turn left, turn right, knock this door, go down the stairs and mess about walking around a hospital. It's a lot easier just to put 4 boxes on the sack truck, go straight there, and then you're done with the delivery. Make sure that you've got yourself a set of wheels, whether it be a sack truck or a pump truck. It will make it a lot easier for you to go out there and do deliveries. The next thing that you're going to need to do deliveries, to make sure that your deliveries are safe when you're dealing with fragile goods, is going to be blankets. These are a little bit similar to ratchet straps in the sense that they're going to help secure the load when you're carrying fragile items, but blankets are there to make sure that things don't get damaged. Ratchet straps are there to make sure that things don't move. Blankets you would use whenever you're doing any type of deliveries for glass, whether it be light bulbs, whether it be strip lights, things like this. Whether you're moving TVs, laptops, anything like this that has a screen, something that could easily smash or be damaged, you'd usually wrap it in a blanket to make sure that it's going to be safe. You can use any blanket. I personally got just a cheap £10 blanket from B&M. So very easy to get a blanket. Just make sure you've got a couple blankets on board. You can wrap fragile goods in the blanket to make sure that they're secure when you're moving around. The next piece of equipment that you're going to need to run your courier business is going to be a high-vis jacket. This is very, very important. Without a high-vis jacket, there's some sites that you might go to that will not let you on site unless you have a high-vis jacket. This one's kind of simple. I don't really need to explain this. You need a high-vis jacket to be able to be seen for safety reasons and so on and so forth. Everyone knows what a high-vis jacket is, the yellow jacket with the silver stripes, and that's pretty much that. After you've got your high-vis jacket, The next thing that you're going to need, which matches your high-vis jacket, is going to be your safety boots. You're going to need these, again, to access certain sites. And when you're dealing with heavy loads, maybe you're moving kegs of alcohol, maybe you're lifting a 50 kg box, you're going to need the safety boots on to protect your feet and to protect your toes. You can pick these up very cheap, again, for 20, 30 pounds from maybe Screwfix, Tool Station, somewhere like this. You can get some cheap safety boots that will do the job and that will see you through, so that your feet are safe, that you're protected, and so that you can also access certain sites, because some sites won't let you in unless you've got safety boots. So make sure you've got some safety boots. The next piece of equipment after the safety boots is going to be your phone holder. So when you're driving around and you've got your sat nav on to go out there and make deliveries, you need to know where you're going. And you obviously can't sit there holding your phone all day. So you're going to need a phone holder. You can get a cheap one off Amazon for 5, 10, 15 pound. And all that's going to do is hold your phone in place, enable you to see your sat nav while you're driving and know exactly where you're going. A lot of people already have phone holders, so that one's kind of a given. A lot of people know that, but just a little reminder in case you forgot. And now the last piece of equipment. The piece of equipment that most people forget and most people don't even think about. But this is the piece of equipment which has enabled me to make a lot more money than everyone else in the courier industry, is having company ID. What is company ID? Company ID means that you have a little ID that has your name on, your company name, an image of you, and an employee ID number. But what this means is that you're then able to take certain deliveries that other people can't. For instance, if you're doing an airline delivery, you need 2 forms of ID, and one of them has to be company ID. So that means if you go there with your driving license, you also need a company ID to match it, that also has your name on, that also has your photo on. It has to be photo company ID as well. But this means that you can then do airline deliveries, and airline deliveries will pay a lot more money. It's very easy to get company ID. It doesn't cost a lot. You can literally go on Google and search up company ID. You just then have to verify your business, verify that you're going to order this on behalf of your business, and you can get a company ID sent to your home address, sent to your business address, wherever you want to get it sent to. And you can use this as an ID when doing deliveries, and it makes you look a lot more professional as well. It opens a lot of doors because there's a lot of companies that want to work with people who have company IDs, but it also makes you look a lot more professional. So when you do deliveries and you turn up to a site and you have company ID, people look at you, they know you're the real deal, they take you seriously, and they want to work with you again. So that's the list of equipment that you're going to need, the most important things that you're going to need to go out there as a courier and to be able to make money. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.